So my bad mama jamma for the week is Rhonda. Rhonda is in the smack dab middle of this picture. And we are at my sister's house. I'm in the pink and I'm wearing the pink sweater. Rhonda's right next to me, to the left of me.
To the right
Michelle
of me.
is to the left
To the
of
right,
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
And Angela is in the front of Michelle. And Rhonda and Michelle are people that we grew up with and that were our childhood friends. Rhonda was someone that we went to school with, attended school with from grade school, Blessed Sacrament Elementary, 1st through 8th grade. And then we went on to high school together, which was Bishop Ward High School. And my dad, I believe we met because my dad was her and her cousin's basketball coach. And they started coming over our house, hanging out. And my parents were crazy about them. And they were crazy about my mom and dad. And Angela and Rhonda and I, we always, played basketball together. Even when we got in our 20s and 30s and 40s, we still played basketball together. And when we would challenge men that were younger than us or boys that were younger than us to play basketball, Angela and Rhonda were always better offensive players, but I was always better on defense. And we always ended up winning the game, even though the guys were like, oh, you guys need to just go home and sip some tea and rock in your rocking chairs. They would talk all that smack, but then it's funny because we'd always beat them. But anyway, Rhonda was always around. She was always there at our house for big events, monumental events, both sad and happy. So Rhonda was like our sister. We grew up together. We were all sisters, and we still are. We all still hang out together. We kind of raised our kids together. We associated with each other throughout our lives. Angela and Rhonda and I even at one time had an apartment together. So we have been knowing each other from the beginning of time, quite literally. So Rhonda went on to become a nurse. I'm going to tell you that Rhonda was always an overachiever. She always went above and beyond to tackle the task at hand. She always liked helping people. She wanted to always help people. So that's exactly what she did. Rhonda, like I said, I had the pleasure of meeting her grandmother, who I was crazy about, her aunts, her uncles, and her cousins. And sadly, I did not ever get to meet Rhonda's mother because sadly she passed when she was giving birth to Rhonda. So I would have loved to have met Rhonda's mother, but I never got the pleasure of meeting her, like I said. But Rhonda's goal was to always help people. She knew she wanted to be a nurse from the time she was in kindergarten, like 5 years old. She knew that's what she wanted to do. And she stayed true to her nursing field throughout since she left high school. She started out as a nursing student at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. And then she said her goal was to always be an RN, a registered nurse, which she achieved that at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. And then she worked for 5 years as a registered nurse. Then she returned to school to get her bachelor's degree from the University of Kansas in 1997. And she went on to work 15 more years to obtain her master's degree. So Rhonda, like my sister and I's birthday, is in September. And it's so funny because Rhonda's birthday is the same exact day as mine, September 19th. But she acts and thinks more like my sister, Angela, whose birthday is on September the 20th. So, like I said, we go way back. I mean, we've known each other, like I said, from the beginning of time. This is Rhonda and I at our house on Quindaro in the Dot in the early 80s. Seems like eons ago, but like I said, we've known her since the beginning of time. It's a pleasure to know Rhonda, and she's been a great friend and wouldn't trade her in for anything. And I think she has like some of the whitest teeth in America. Love her teeth. But anyway, she went on to work 15 more years and she obtained her master's degree. And then after that, she decided she wanted to get her certificate in nurse anesthetist, and from University of Kansas as well. And she achieved this goal in 2010. So I remember when Rhonda went back to school to get her nurse anesthetist degree, it took her 3 years. And I remember prior to that, we used to, after church, we would play tennis every Sunday. And then, like, for 3 years, my sister nor I really heard from Rhonda. She was taking care of her 4 kids, spending time with her husband. She had to quit her job so that she could achieve the goal that she wanted. She was determined to achieve. And she did it. After 3 hard years and sweat, tears, whatever, of, obtaining her nurse anesthetist degree, she finally did it. Then she started coming around again. We started seeing her again, the kids again, and it was back to normal. And she had a different job, of course, but she did achieve that nurse anesthetist degree. And we were all very proud of her. Everybody was very proud of her for, putting that task in front of herself and then going on to achieve it. It was like amazing to watch it. And that's what I've always admired about her. She takes a task and she works hard to achieve her. This is Rhonda receiving her degree for her from her nursing anesthetist program from the University of Kansas that she worked very hard to achieve. Like I said, had to quit her job and everything to do this. And she did it with, like I said, a whole big family and everything. She did it. She achieved it. She achieved that goal. So Rhonda said that if she could say anything to young kids today, that she would tell them, take school seriously, make good grades, use your resources, believe that you can do anything that you set your mind and focus on. And Rhonda, like I said, she lives by these words, and she has always lived by these words. She's not just talking the talk, but she's walking the walk, so to speak, too, because everything that she suggests to young kids, that aspire to be whatever they want to be, if they live by Rhonda's words and by her actions, then they will achieve every dream and goal that they like to achieve, because she is telling you that if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So think you can do it. If you believe in yourself and stick to it and work hard, you can do it. And she is the epitome of that, because I've seen her do it. And she keeps saying that she's not going to go back to school and achieve another degree. But I wouldn't be surprised if within the next 5 to 10 years she goes back to school to achieve her PhD in the nursing field as well. So once again, Rhonda is the Bad Mama Jamma for this week. And stay tuned to see who next week's Bad Mama Jamma is. See you next time.